What's up, everybody? Yo, Poly Music here. And if you work in sync, production music, or anywhere in the licensing world, today just changed everything you thought you knew about AI and music copyright. Suno, the AI music platform that's been generating millions of tracks, just settled its massive lawsuit with Warner Music Group and inked a first-of-its-kind licensing deal. Who didn't see that coming? And let me be clear, this isn't some feel-good partnership announcement. This is the music industry drawing a line in the sand about how AI will operate moving forward. Let's break down what actually happened and what it might mean for your career. So for the past year, the question hanging over every sync composer, every music supervisor, every production music library has been, can AI companies just train on our work without permission? Warner said nope, and they sued. Suno fought back. They claimed fair use. So the entire industry watched to see who would win, because the answer would determine whether AI music platforms are partners or parasites. We saw this coming. I've been talking about it for a long time, and we knew what was going to happen. Today, we got our answer. And honestly, it's more complicated than either side wants to admit. So let's get the facts straight. In June 2024 that is, Warner Music Group, along with Atlantic, Elektra, and Warner Records, sued Suno for what they called massive copyright infringement on an almost unimaginable scale. It's pretty strong. Now, their claim that Suno trained its AI models by scraping and ingesting Warner's entire catalog, decades of master recordings, without licensing agreements, without permission, and without paying a dime. Suno's response was textbook AI company defense. Our training process is transformative. It's fair use. We're not copying music. We're teaching a machine to understand music. And I've stood by that defense since day one. But here's what nobody in the AI world wants to talk about. Fair use has never been tested at this scale in music. And Warner wasn't interested in waiting for a judge to decide. Because if they lost, every AI company on the planet would have a green light to train on copyrighted works without consequences. So Warner brought the hammer. And according to Billboard, Music Business Worldwide, and court filings, this lawsuit was being closely watched by Universal, Sony, indie labels, publishers, and sync libraries worldwide. This wasn't just about Warner. This was about whether the music industry would control AI or be steamrolled by it. But instead of dragging this into years of depositions and appeals, something unexpected happened. Warner and Suno sat down and made a deal. All right, so here's what's in this settlement. I'm going to tell you what the press releases aren't saying. First, artists opt in for AI training. Warner artists can now choose whether their voice, name, likeness, and catalog get used to train Suno's AI models. This is huge. It's consent-based. It's the first time a major label has publicly required opt-in rights for AI training. But let's be real. How many artists actually understand what they're opting into? And how much leverage will newer or mid-tier artists have when their label recommends they participate? That part is still murky. So second, Suno will build brand new licensed models. This is critical. Suno is not retrofitting their existing models. They're building entirely new AI systems from scratch, launching in 2026 that will only use Warner's catalog under license. That means all the training, all the knowledge, all the music trained by earlier versions of Suno could disappear. I'm curious to see what happens with that. So what's the translation? The old Suno model, the one they trained without permission, is still out there. And Warner's not getting any retroactive compensation for it. They're moving forward, not backward. Now third, new usage rules and monetization caps. Free tier users can generate, stream, and share AI music. Paid users can download, but with new restrictions on volume and commercial use. Now here's where it gets interesting for sync professionals. What are those restrictions? Can a paid Suno user generate a track and license it for a commercial or TV show? The press releases don't say. And that ambiguity, that's going to be a minefield for music supervisors trying to clear rights. So now all lawsuits are dropped. Warner withdraws all claims. Suno walks away without admitting guilt. Both sides claim victory. Classic settlement. No one admits they were wrong, but the fight stops. Now let me tell you why this deal should matter to everyone in the sync and production music world. Because this isn't just about pop stars and streaming. This sets a licensing precedent. If Warner can force Suno into a licensing deal, that means every AI music company is now on notice. You want to train on professional recordings? You need to pay. You need permission. The move fast and break things era of AI music is now over. For sync composers and production music libraries, this is actually good news. It means AI companies can't just suck up your catalog, train a model on your style, and spit out knockoff tracks without consequences. Artist control is now on the table. The opt-in model means that if you're a composer or artist with leverage, you can negotiate how your work is used in AI systems. You can demand compensation. You can say no. But here's my concern. What about independent composers, smaller libraries, session musicians, the people who don't have Warner's legal team? Are they going to get the same protections? Or will they get steamrolled while the major labels cut sweetheart deals? I think we know what's going to happen. The sync clearance nightmare is just beginning. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. If Suno's new models are trained on Warner's catalog and someone generates a track that sounds like it was influenced by a Warner artist, who owns the copyright to that AI-generated track? Who do you clear it with for a sync license? Is it Suno? Is it the user? Is it Warner? Is it the artist? The press releases don't answer this yet. And until it does, music soups are going to treat AI-generated music like toxic waste, because no one wants to be the first person to get sued for clearing an AI track that infringes on someone's rights. This could flood the market. Right now, production music libraries are already competing with millions of tracks. If Suno can legally generate music at scale using Warner's catalog as training data, we're about to see an explosion of AI-generated content. Not like that's not happening already. I heard that we're getting roughly 100,000 new tracks uploaded every day to Spotify. It's crazy. And here's the hard truth. A lot of it will be good enough for background use. Not great, but good enough. And good enough at zero cost is a threat to composers charging real rates for real work. We just got to be honest about that. At the end of the day, folks don't care how great your music is. They care whether or not it sets the mood for a particular scene. And at the end of the day, money talks. Not spending money talks louder. So this deal answers some questions, but it opens up a whole lot more. And the music industry, especially the sync side, needs clarity fast. Question 1, how much money will artists actually make? The deal doesn't disclose financial terms. Is this a one-time payment, a revenue share, per use royalty? We don't know. And if artists aren't getting meaningful compensation, then this is just a PR move. Are we going to get pennies like we already do on Spotify? I think that's what's going to happen. Will other labels follow? Universal and Sony still have active lawsuits against Suno and other AI companies. If they see Warner getting a better deal by settling early, they might follow. Or they might dig in and fight harder. So we'll see what happens real time. What about publishers and songwriters? This deal is with Warner Music Group, the record label side. But what about Warner Chappell, the publishing side? What about ASCAP, BMI, CSAC? Composition rights are separate from master's rights, and we haven't seen deals there yet. Sync professionals know that this matters. Now, can AI music be cleared for sync? Until there's a standardized process for clearing AI-generated tracks, knowing who owns what, who gets paid, and what the liability is, most music supervisors are going to avoid it entirely, and they should, in my opinion. Is this even enforceable? That's a real question. Suno operates globally. The internet is borderless. Even if Warner has a deal in the US, what's stopping someone in another country from training on AI on Warner's catalog and distributing it worldwide? This deal might be symbolic more than practical. So what does this really mean? Here's my take, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This deal is a win for major labels and a partial win for big-name artists. It gives them control, leverage, and a seat at the table. But for working composers, sync professionals, independent creators, this is a warning shot. The music industry is moving toward a future where AI is licensed and legal, but that doesn't mean it's fair. And it doesn't mean you're protected unless you have the power to negotiate. If you're relying on sync income, you need to be paying attention because the barriers to entry for music creation just dropped to zero. And the market is about to get flooded with good enough AI tracks that cost nothing to produce. So your edge isn't going to be technical skill anymore. It's going to be relationships, taste, originality, and speed. The stuff AI can't replicate just yet. Now, if you're a music supervisor, get ready for the most complicated clearance landscape you've ever seen, because the line between AI assisted and AI generated and human created is about to get very, very blurry. This Suno-Warner deal isn't the end of the AI music debate, it's the beginning of a much more complicated chapter. So, the Suno and Warner settlement is a landmark moment, but it's not the victory lap the press releases want you to think it is. This is the music industry figuring out how to survive AI, not how to thrive with it. And if you work in sync, you need to stay sharp, stay informed, and stay ahead of this wave. So if you want some more analysis on AI music, not the hype, not the fluff, just the truth, you know where I'm at. Hit the subscribe button, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm Polly with Yo Polly Music. Now go make something great.